Hello, everyone. It's Sunday. It's that time again. Time for another. This is Confessions video. Confessions number 47, still part four. Late night edition of this Confessions video for Sunday night. Uh, as you know, we go into the archives of my past, as you all know, as I call it, anyways, the archives of my past. But uh, and to that I make public in these Confessions videos. And the thing that kept hitting me before I hit the button to go live was in my mother's addiction to opioid pills when we lived together. We lived together, we really lived together about 18 years, but 15 of those years was her addiction to opioid pills. It was to what the doctors had prescribed her hydrocodone, somas, Xanax. And I was trying to remember the other one. I can't remember it right now. But, excuse me. But, she didn't, like most people, she didn't set out to get hooked on them. She got hooked. They give her some kind of antidepressant too, but, excuse me. But nonetheless, she got hooked. Then when she got hooked, then she just started eating them like crazy. The doctors realized that and they cut her off. Well, when they cut her off, she started going to dope dealers to get her pills. Of course, I tried reasoning with her. I didn't have addiction issues back then. But I found this out. When you try to reason with someone that's an addict that you love, that's close to you, they're not going to recognize that. They're just going to see you as a threat to their addiction. Now, she knew me. Even if I knew who the dope dealer was, she knew I wouldn't have ratted them out and turned them in. But yet she couldn't have them risk coming to the house because she knew I'd open up a can of whoop ass on them. So, excuse me, she went to them. And if I would have known who the dope dealer or dope dealers were, I'd have paid them a visit, of course. But it wouldn't have done no good. She would have just found other dope dealers to go to. She worked for Walmart 5 of those years. She was driving back and forth to work, going to sleep at the wheel. I'm sorry. She would tell me about it when she come home, which naturally worried me. I tried to tell her, let me drive you back and forth to work. No, no, no. See, it would have interfered with her going to the dope dealer. See, I tried reasoning with her for 15 years. I kept, she kept overdosing, not intentionally, but unintentionally. She'd be hospitalized 15 days on the minimum, sometimes up to 2 weeks or a little bit longer. Uh, I could not convince her that it was killing her. Uh, it was 10 to 11 times she'd been hospitalized. It like to kill her every time. I couldn't convince her or reason with her. I told her many times, I said, look, you can't quit on your own. You have to quit, but you can't quit on your own. You've got to go get help. She didn't want help. So, uh, but she would tell me things like she would tell me, well, on the way back home from work today, I fell asleep at the wheel just to worry me nonetheless, but she wouldn't let me drive her back and forth to work either, because it would interfere, like I said, with her going to her dope dealer's house. See, and that's what it would risk. But she would have me take her to doctor's appointments, and this is where I quit going in with her. I went in with her one time, and she started getting pills and just throwing them in her mouth. Some was falling in the floor in front of all kinds of patients. Speech was very slurred. At times, her eyes were cockeyed. Then, when they called her back, I heard them say, Miss Walton, go back to your room and get out of other patients' rooms and leave them alone. That's when I got up and walked out. And I told her when she came out of the doctor's office, got in the car, I said, look here. From here on out, I'll take you back and forth to the doctor's, but I'm not going back in there with you acting like a damn crazed out fool. I said, I heard everything that they were telling you back there, and you throwing them pills in your mouth, a lot of them hitting, not even going in your mouth, going on the floor, and all these patients were watching you. She had just lost her mind. Her addiction had gotten so bad, she just really lost her mind. But still, I loved her no matter what her faults were. Don't get me wrong, I did. I truly did. And it broke my heart because I knew I was losing a battle. I was losing a battle knowing that I was going to lose my mother to these pills. For 15 years, I tried reasoning with her. Uh, there was times she went off on me, many times she went off on me when nothing was ever said to make her go off on me. And I knew it was because of the pills. I knew that. I got it. She was gaining so much weight too. She'd make a whole peach cobbler and have it ate before the day was up. She was gaining 2 to 3 pounds a day for getting the munchies from the pills. I couldn't convince her of how it was ruining her health too. It was killing her in every way. It was killing her emotionally, mentally, and physically. She didn't have a strong spiritual connection either to the Lord. You know, so I knew I was going to lose her. And that's what bothered me the most, knowing that I've tried everything and I cannot get through to her. And I thought, man, and it was making me go crazy. For years and years, I thought, am I going to just lose my cotton picking mind? You know, Eventually she got fired from Walmart. I mean, her boss kept bringing her home all the time. She'd ask me, her boss was, is she doing drugs? And I just say, you need to talk to her about that. You know, and finally they wanted her to do a drug exam after 5 long years. And she said, well, the only way I'm going to do a drug exam is if I go to my primary care physician. So I said no to that naturally because they pick who you see, and they fired her. But why did they wait 5 long years? I have no idea. You know, but like when she did tell me that, I said, well, it's not up to you. It's up to the employer how they drug and alcohol test you. This is what she did. She got mad at me and she said, what do you expect me to do? Work till I'm 100? I said, no, it's not up to you, Mom, the employee, where you go take the drug and alcohol exam. It's up to the employer. If she didn't say nothing when I told her that. And, you know, I was always worried, like when she was working, tell me, she was falling asleep at the wheel because she's so drugged up. And of course, I'd take her to the doctor's office, but I didn't go in no more. I got to where I wouldn't even go in and eat with her anymore either, because one time we was at I can't think of the pizza place in Paragould. We went in to eat. Of course, she was all drugged up. When they served the pizza to us, she got 2 bites in. I was watching her eyes cross in, then she passed out asleep right there. I woke her up. I said, "We're going to have to get this to go and go home." So we did. I did, and I told her in the car on the way home. I said, "Look, no more me and you eating out together anymore. You can't even stay awake to eat your food." I said, "Mom, you stay high every day, 7 days a week, out of your mind." I said, "You've lost your mind 5 years ago." You know, I said, "How can I cannot convince you? You've lost your mind. You're going to lose your life." And I could, you know, and I could. So I always knew I was going to lose her from these pills. I always knew it. For 15 years, I lived in horror, knowing this was going to happen, knowing that I'm failing as a son. I cannot convince her. Finally, one night, okay, I'd gotten some meds filled on mine, and I always hid them in my bedroom, okay, to where she couldn't find them, right? I went to see a friend a couple of houses down. I come back and she got them. And I've never called the police on anybody in my life, but I called him then, not to have her arrested, to try to get her committed. And the cop talked to her. He said, "Man, she's high out of her mind." He said, "There's nothing you can do unless she goes to jail for something. Then you can go to a prosecutor, and then you can have her committed." But he said, "I'm sorry, son. There's nothing you can do." So I tried everything, and I failed as a son. And make a long story short, because I'm running out of time here. Uh, a neighbor from across the street come over. Is like almost like a relative. She was in her 80s. She attacked her. I got her off her. She was okay. I sent her back home. Then a distant cousin come over. She attacked her. I pulled her off. I said, "That's it. I can't handle no more. I'm out of here." And I went to stay with her older sister. And for 3 months, I think it's 3 or 4 months, I didn't talk to her. I didn't call her. Nothing. Then only got to talk to her for maybe 10, 20 seconds. Uh, the night before she died, I got her in an ambulance and tell her I love her, and then she died on uh, on in 2017. And I had an autopsy done. It was an intentional overdose of 5 opioids. So it is what it is. Uh, I don't. I knew I tried everything. That's what keeps me going today, and I think of her smile. Thank you so much for this Confessions video number 47. God bless you all.